The Kyla in year 1 of having endometriosis would have just said, okay, let me just take some pain pills. But the Kyla 8 years down the line of endo now realizes I need to. Hey everybody, it's Kyla Zeta, and I'm here to inspire you along your health journey. And it's Endo Awareness Month. Happy Endometriosis Awareness Month to all of my endo sisters. I am just so blessed to know I am in company with so many strong, resilient women that know how to continuously live their life beyond pain. And I'm just really excited because this is my 8th anniversary with endometriosis, and I have had a journey with endo. And every year I do this What is Endometriosis video simply because I always learn something new that has literally changed how I deal with my pain and my process and my life. And this year is no different. So today I'm going to share with you 7 things that you need to know about endometriosis. All right, let's get into this. All right, guys, so number 1 is endometriosis is not a white woman's disorder. I feel like I have been screaming this from the rooftop all of 2020 since we have found that there are so many websites out there, hospital websites out there, who say that this is a white woman's disorder. This is not a white woman's disorder. Endometriosis can affect all women of all colors the same way. This is really important because for myself, when I was diagnosed with endometriosis, I remember searching what is endometriosis, and my mother automatically was like, this is what it is. This is what's causing your pain. And that was in high school. To all the women of color out there who are looking up their pain symptoms and you run across that language, please know that that is an error, a complete error. You can have endometriosis and be a woman of color. All right, now that we got that out of the way. All right, number 2, endometriosis is not the tissue in your vajayjay. Okay, hear me out. So when I first found out I had endo, and I've said this before, I always say, and a lot of people say it, they say it's the lining of the tissue in your uterus that travels to other parts of your body that become inflamed and cause you pain. Not necessarily true. So endometriosis is tissue that is similar to the tissue that is in your uterus. It is not the tissue in your uterus. And this is really important because, as we talked about in my video about pesticides and how there was a link to women actually having endometriosis based off of pesticides that they had consumed, there are hormonal products in our environment. There are hormonal products in our pesticides, in our foods, in our environment in general, the things that we drink, the things that we eat, the topical things that we put on our body. There are hormonal products, guys, and this affects us in major ways. When we're thinking about this tissue that is found all over our body that we think literally traveled from our uterus all the way up to our chest, all the way up to our brain, all the way up to our, well, down to our legs. So now that we know it's not the tissue in our uterus, but it's tissue similar to our uterus, you realize your uterus is not the problem. So to all the women out there that think, okay, I'm just gonna get a hysterectomy, I'm just gonna remove everything down there and my pain should be gone, that's incorrect. You cannot get a hysterectomy and think that you're never gonna have any endo pain simply because this tissue is similar to the tissue in your uterus. It's not the tissue in your uterus. So even though this tissue reacts the same way as the tissue in your uterus when your cycle comes on, when you ovulate, when you're stressed, all of that, tissue acts the same. It literally has the same type of reaction, but it's not the tissue in your uterus. So for everybody thinking, okay, you know what, I'm gonna just get rid of this uterus and I'm gonna be good. Unfortunately, that is not the case. And you have to learn how to manage this new tissue in your body. The Kyla in year 1 of having endometriosis would have just said, okay, let me just take some pain pills. But the Kyla 8 years down the line of endo now realizes I need to learn how to stretch. I need to learn how to let that blood be released. I need to learn how to let that pain release itself. Thought process is totally different. And that's why it's really important to understand that this is not just your uterus tissue. When you have endometriosis tissue that travels to, say, your legs, that tissue doesn't have a way of escaping. It doesn't have a way of releasing the blood that it's trying to release. So learning yoga, learning how to stretch properly is really, really crucial for your journey. And shout out to our endo sis. I remember her saying it on her Instagram first about it, and I literally started digging into my research. So follow her. She is definitely the plug for info. Number 4, unfortunately, the reason why a lot of us are going years and years of dealing with unnecessary pain without being diagnosed is because OBGYNs are not equipped to deal with this issue. You have to see a specialist. Nobody ever told us that we can just go and see a specialist because of our pain. And for me personally, I felt like I needed a OBGYN to say something wasn't right for me to go see a specialist. I needed that. Like, I felt like I needed that. So the reality is, if you are a woman who is currently dealing with a lot of pain, or you realize something isn't right with your uterus, or something isn't right with your cycle, or something just isn't right hormonal, go see a specialist. Skip the OBGYN. The other part of this hard lesson that I learned was that my insurance covered it. My insurance covered me going to a specialist. And I know this isn't the case for everyone. However, check with your insurance right away. If you have an OBGYN, if you're not getting the answers, if you have a daughter who is dealing with pain and you're not getting answers from an OBGYN, go directly to a specialist. Just go. Save yourself 4 to 10 years of pain, unnecessary pain. Number 5, your stage of endometriosis does not determine your pain levels. Okay, so in the community, a lot of us kind of wear these badges. I'm stage 4, I'm stage 3, I'm stage the highest, right? Like, we feel like there is some justification of our pain levels based off of our stage, and that's completely untrue. You can have the worst endo pain in stage 1 and have no pain in stage 4, and vice versa. The stage is simply about how many lesions you have, how deep they are, and where they're located. That is it. So do not think that because I have stage 1, that in my brain, my pain shouldn't be that bad. And do not think because I have stage 4, I can never live without pain, because you can. You can. There are so many women out here who have found ways to deal with their pain, and you can too. Number 6, just because you're diagnosed with endometriosis does not mean you are infertile. It is not synonymous. So let me give you some examples. Myself, stage 4, and I'm a mother. Tia Mori, mother of 2. Chrissy Teigen just came out and said that she had endometriosis surgery. It's possible, y'all. You can still be a mother. It doesn't look the same for everybody. Everybody's fertility journey is definitely not the same. However, you still can have a child. And the only reason why I'm harping on this is because when I was dealing with so much pain and not knowing what it was, the first thing in my mind was, oh my goodness, something is not right with my uterus. I'm not going to be able to become a mom. That was literally every single month. I would go through excruciating pain, and I was always worried about my fertility. Always. And then that reality became true. And my doctor told me I had a very small window of becoming a mother. Honey, I took that chance and ran with it. I became a mother. So do not think that the window is completely closed just because there's questions about your fertility. It is truly possible for you to become a mom. All right, number 7. Y'all, this is what this whole channel is about. This is what my journey is about. This is why I share. You can be pain-free with endometriosis. It is truly possible. It's not easy. Nobody said it would be. It doesn't look the same for everybody, but you can become pain-free. When I first started this channel, y'all, I literally found out I had endometriosis, shared my video of, y'all, what is endo? I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you what I know type of video. I remember I did a video throwing out my pain pills before even knowing how to take care of my body naturally off of pain pills, because I truly could not live off of pain pills for the rest of my life. And that leap of faith was all I needed. I figured it out, and you can too. Figure out your vitamins, figure out your food, figure out your work regimen. Y'all, it is possible. All right, guys, so those are the 7 things that I feel like were crucial for me learning in my 8th year of stage 4 endometriosis. I just want to say thank you to every single person that watches my endo videos. I want to say thank you to every comment, every DM, every email about how these videos are helping you. It truly warms my heart. I didn't know what the impact would be, and to know so many of you all are doing better, and you guys are thriving, and you are finding what works for you just truly warms my heart. And I'm so excited to see what is next for all of us. Pain-free, y'all. Pain-free. I am claiming it for all of us because we deserve it. Happy Endometriosis Awareness Month. Happy Women's History Month. Herstory. Okay, all of that. I love you guys, and I'll see you next video. Peace.